If you have a 1457, most likely it's going to be your gas tank. My advice is, as soon as you get this code, stay away from that car or don't get involved with it unless you get it for free or for a couple $100, especially for a 2002 Honda Accord. The entire rear cradle has to come out. Both calipers on both sides have to get strung up on the top with the actual shocks, and the entire lower suspension is all attached to this cradle, which is attached to the gas tank. So you're looking at anywhere from $1,500 to maybe $3,000 repair. If somebody says they're going to do it for cheaper, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a bad thing, but it's going to be a bad thing for them and their back, because this is a really labor intensive job, especially for an older car. These cars are going into their 20th year of life, so there is a ton of stuff that is rusted down there, especially when taking the exhaust apart. These exhausts are not easy to take off, and if you take it off where it tells you to take it off, which is the mid part of the actual vehicle, and all the bolts come out easy, whoa, you have an exhaust that has seen some stuff and is really good condition. Unlikely for this one, I had to take it out from the front portion of it because the midsection was so rusted off that I couldn't even find the actual bolts. And I'm not an exhaust shop, and I wasn't trying to do an exhaust. I was just trying to do the actual gas tank. I did all the labor myself, which was very tedious, especially if you're not working on Hondas all day long and you don't know the actual procedure for it. You go through a learning curve. This is where your mechanic is going to take some time to learn and go through the process of what he's going to have to do, how he's going to have to do the problem, how he's going to take off the actual gas tank, what are the tools that he's going to need, is there going to be any problems, or does he foresee any problems right off the back, so he can tell the customer, hey, I'm going to take off your gas tank, but your exhaust bolts are gone. You might need a new exhaust. And so the customer has to agree to actually go into this problem knowing that he's going to need additional repairs. If the calipers are really rusted on there and there's already no sign of these bolts coming out without putting new calipers, this is additional cost. If the shocks are in really bad condition, if the body, the frame itself, because if the gas tank is already a steel gas tank that has some rust and is giving you a P1457, you're going to go into it with a lot more issues than what you're going to come out with. So just knowing this, know that if you get this car with a 1457, that you're going to spend about anywhere from 1 to 3 G's right off the back in repairs, knowing that that is going to be what you need to in order for you to fix this car and have it up in the road. Don't get me wrong, these cars are really good runners. They'll take you from work, back, and they'll do it multiple times. They'll be a very reliable car. But a 1457, especially on a 2002 Honda Accord, the V6, the 6-cylinder engine, is not an easy job. By far, it is not a cheap job. And the longer this keeps going with time, the more problems you're going to have, especially with this problem. And if you don't solve the problem and get rid of that 1457, which is your gas tank leaking, it was for this problem. The gas tank had a hole in it. Well, it had a couple holes on it because of rust. Rust is not kind to metal parts, specifically this gas tank. So that's my diagnosis. I wish I'd known that. And if I had a 1457, then I would definitely go ahead and not buy this car.